The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
Go! Is that you?
For the first time in 2021, it is a Victory Monday on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the Dallas Cowboys, as the Cowboys went into L.A. and dipped out with a win over the Los Angeles Chargers. 20-17 was the final score on the road as the Cowboys get back to 500, 1-1 through 2 weeks of the NFL season. We're going to talk about it here over the next couple minutes. We've got Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison. I'm Kyle Yeomans, and I don't want to waste any time getting our thoughts because this was a gritty win for the Dallas Cowboys, and man, it was beginning to end gritty. It wasn't pretty. You were missing 5 of your starters, but Rob Phillips, the Cowboys got the job done, and they converted when they needed to.
Real quick, I was just looking up the last Victory Monday for the Cowboys was December 28th, 2020. So it's been a while, fellas. It's been a while.
Way too long.
I'm going to steal Isaiah's point. We know each other so well doing this show, I think, by this point. It's a character win for the Cowboys.
Right, it was.
Going on the road, opposite coast, all the guys that they had missing, a real chance of being 0-2. I mean, that's a good Charger team. I look forward to seeing a lot of Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert battles in the AFC title game in the coming years. Maybe Lamar Jackson has something to say about that, but that's going to be a team to deal with over the next few years if they continue building right. And they found a different way to win this game than they almost won in week 1. And I think that's a credit to the players, obviously, but the coaches as well, specifically Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore, for making adjustments from week 1 and based off the guys they were missing.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, coaches used their personnel. They used the personnel that they had. They didn't sit up there making any excuses about, we're missing this guy's down, this guy won't be back for 5 more weeks, whatever the case may be. They used their personnel. Not only Dan Quinn did he do it like we knew he would, right? That's what he got, but that's what he does. But Kellen Moore is continuing to find ways to get his playmakers the ball. Now, people want to argue and say, well, this playmaker's getting paid this much. It's about matchups. This game is all about matchups. You can give the person who gets the most money, the most playing time, and all that jazz. But guess what? If it results in a loss, then what is it for? Right? It's about winning games. So if it's about doggone Pollard getting the ball more than Zeke that game, then guess what? That's what it takes. You heard Zeke after the game. Whoever has a hot hand, that's who we're rolling with. Defensively, Micah Parsons. Guess what? We drafted him as a linebacker, but guess what else? That boy went down there and played like a dog at defensive end and gave some doggone problems and gave Herbert some happy feet when we needed him to have some happy feet and forced some incompletions. Overall, special teams, we still got some work to do. But Greg DeLay, like I said in the postgame show, that boy dusted off the old little dust off the lawnmower, and he fired that thing up. And after you fire that lawnmower up, it just keeps turning, right? It's Old Faithful after that. So he was good to go. So overall, great win.
A Toro?
Yeah, exactly. Whoever our sponsor is.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably a sponsor. Yeah, sorry.
I really have no idea.
No, I love the balance. I love the balance from Kellen Moore. We've talked about him in the red zone woes, solved them. We saw the first 2 red zones, came out, got scores. I mean, and it was the balance for me, incorporating the run with the pass. It looked like a healthy balance of this offense, but defensively, you're right. Dan Quinn was dialing it up. He was dialing it up the entire game. And, I think there was a point in the game where you were seeing Micah Parsons. You were like, oh, man, this is, it looked as though he wasn't winning those battles. And then all of a sudden, like, he must have heard the whispers and he poured it on. I mean, getting that pressure. And there are a lot of people that are going to be saying, look, let's go ahead and put him at the defensive end position. No. We did that out of necessity. But, boy, isn't it good that in necessity you have a player like that on your roster that can actually get it done and get those pressures? We still didn't get the pressure up the middle that we wanted from our defense, and that's one of the things that I think is going to torment us as the season goes along. But again, it's a great win, team win. And Greg the Leg Boy, you had us sitting on the edge of our seat. I don't think the 56-yard touchdown was the one that they were trying to do, but hey, I'm just happy Legatron came through.
Yeah, 56-yard game-winning field goal as time expires to win it 20-17. And there were positives and negatives. It wasn't all good for the Cowboys, and we're certainly going to break that down throughout the week. But I want to start with the positives on offense.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You mentioned it. I think both of y'all mentioned it, balance. We were questioning it going into the week. You can't go into every football game and throw it 58 times with Dak Prescott and expect to win. And not only did they have balance, but they shared the love. I mean, Tony Pollard, sure, he had a great game. 13 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown. But Ezekiel Elliott, 16 for 71 and a touchdown. That's a much better game than he had last week as well.
Talk about CD and his one carry. What if I told you CD would have one carry for 13 yards?
I almost
that
jumped out
awesome. What's going on?
I mean, you saw some different looks.
Yes.
The play calling was there. Rob, in the tenure of Kellen Moore, have you seen this level of creativity and effectiveness from the play caller on offense?
The only one I can think of is when Ben DiNucci started against the Eagles. And that was out of like, look, man, we got to empty the bag because we got to help this young guy out. I thought that was this. I'd have to really think about it because I said last week that was Dak's best start ever. And then I went back and, I think it was against Tampa Bay. I think that's the best play calling we've seen from Kellen Moore so far in 3 seasons as the OC here. And Mike McCarthy mentioned it was a patient game too. He was patient, and they flipped the game plan from what they did against Tampa Bay. That's the sign of a good offense, and that's the sign of a good play caller. You look at the coverage. It wasn't Tampa's coverage. They played kind of shell stuff playing back, and we talked about it during the week. There were some gaps in that I almost said San Diego, that LA Chargers defense to run on. And they just went with the hot hand. Zeke got his touches. He actually had 3 more carries than Pollard, but Pollard was cooking last night. And man, it helps to have Zach Martin back. I mean, one of those touchdown drives, it was just like I just run behind 70. He was fantastic in the game.
It just shows you the difference that Zach Martin makes on our offensive line immediately. But my man T. Steele, I think we all went in nervous about Taran Steele. And he literally showed you that with a little bit of help, he can be a serviceable swing tackle. And so let's put that, maybe for now, let's put that whole conversation to bed. But I remember Michael Irvin on the game, one of the pre-games that we had, talking about Taran Steele and likening him to Big Eric Williams, Big E, and just saying that Big E, when he came in, Eric Williams, former tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, and how, look, his rookie year, he was just getting baptized by Reggie White, guys like that. And finally, it started to see that confidence building for him, and I think this was a confidence building game. And so I want the next 4 games for Taran Steele to be just like this. We did a lot of good things on the right side, and a lot of good things with helping him.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think I mentioned this a while back, but Kellen Moore, I think he watched Waterboy. I'm convinced he watched the Waterboy. You remember that little green booklet?
He pulled it out.
Yeah, he pulled that green booklet out. He pulled it out, and he went straight to that joint, and he called up some stuff that we never expected. I know when I saw CD in the backfield, I was like, what in the entire heck is going on? You see what I did there? And I was concerned because they weren't giving the ball to Zeke at that time, right? And I know we were having a little discussion in the studio. I was like, man, what the heck is going on? Why aren't they giving Zeke the ball? And I was like, oh, okay. Balance, right? I don't think this term really applies, but he did a heck of a job. Want to go to Heckman's dude, the Schultzenegger.
Yes, sir.
The Schultzenegger. Schultz balled out. Now, whether you guys see it show up in the stat sheet or not,
which it didn't.
It did not. The boy balled out. Let me tell y'all from the analytical perspective, he was putting his hat in there. He held Bosa at bay when he had his opportunities. He was putting his head in there. He was gritting it out. He was grinding. These boys was working up front, hard up front. They took not only the first level out the game, but there was a dude named Murray who just happened to be at the second level.
Took him out, too.
Took him out the game, too. And I personally thought that he was going to present a major problem for us at that second level, and I think he ended up getting injured for a good portion of the game.
He was hurt, but he was a non-factor.
But he was a non-factor, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Derwin James, man, I mean, just seeing him live as well, just seeing him all over the field. You love it when you have a free safety that can do that. But look, man, Malik Hooker, Boy, I saw 28 splash too at the line of scrimmage.
What about 27?
27.
Hey, I'm going.
Wow, Jalen Curse,
let's go down the line. 28.
Going backwards in numbers.
Let's go. I mean, because we had really good safety help
we did.
over the top. Now, there's still some things that we need to do in the secondary, but this is all positive today. But Aiden's dad is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I want to stick with offense. We're going to go defense in the second segment. So, staying with the offensive side, and I want to keep this conversation on the offensive line going as well, because you could give a game ball to Tony Pollard. You could give a game ball to Dak Prescott in the way that he worked. But there was concern around Taran Steele, and then, of course, the return of Zach Martin. No concern there because, my goodness, he was as good as he's been. But what about Tyron Smith on the left side? Because I thought he was just as good as he's been prior to his injuries as well.
Had, I guess you could say, one hiccup where he gave up the sack there at the end of the drive.
That's the one.
And Kyler Fackrell, if you watched him in week 1, he's a pretty good rusher off the edge for them. He's not Joey Bosa, but that was the one play where you noticed Tyron Smith in terms of, oh, this didn't go well.
Yeah.
So he was fantastic. But I think you have to give the game ball to Taran Steele.
Yeah.
And I think you have to give the Cowboys credit for they were right. I mean, they felt better about Taran Steele than a lot of people did.
Yeah.
You know, and if Nsekhe had been healthy, and he's okay after that heat exhaustion episode he had, which is scary as heck.
Yeah, hopefully he is okay.
He's discharged from the hospital, but you know, it would have been interesting to see what they would have done there. You know, I know Jerry said during the week it would have been Taran Steele. Maybe we would have seen Ty Nsekhe. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he's a much better player than he was last year. It's clear. I mean, you could see it. And look, Zach Martin being there, I can't stress enough, because you mentioned the tight ends helping out there. You saw some combination blocks too. Zach kind of getting over to help there too, and move inside on the edge. So it was just a good performance overall by the O-line.
You think whenever Dak Prescott gets up there and he's in the shotgun and he's got those guys in front of him, it doesn't really matter who's outside at the tackles a whole lot as long as 70 is there. And, I mean, you would like having 77 and 71, sure. The tackles, and we saw that last year. If both of them are missing, then it's going to be, at least at times, a problem. But, man, having 70 up there, I feel like just gives Dak Prescott so much more confidence. It gives Ezekiel Elliott, it gives Tony Pollard confidence, because then they have holes to run through, and we saw that all day yesterday.
The entire offense, Kyle, when number 70 suits up. Man. I mean, because you understand that you have one of the best in the league that's doing it. But I just love the change of pace between Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, and just the coaching staff's ability to recognize, use your playmakers. And I almost thought in the first half that maybe Zeke had gotten benched. It's like, well, what's going on? Because of the way that Pollard was hitting the hole. But that was just the whole game plan and mixing these guys in. And I think it paid dividends. The Dallas Cowboys are 11-0 when they go for 175 yards rushing. 11-0. That is I mean, come on. I'm just saying that is something that we can build on with this running game. And no matter how it looks on the stat sheet, look, man, it doesn't matter how many guys you have doing it. Keep this up, because it works, especially Tony Pollard catching out of the backfield, and also Zeke, man. I just think it got to a certain point in the game where the Chargers was just like having to honor everything that we did.
There was a point in the game, kind of like you said, where I was like, I wonder if even if they win this game, I wonder if the talk's going to be, well, Zeke's still not getting enough touches.
Yeah.
Because he's not. He's doing well, but he's not. Pollard's the guy. What's his role and all that stuff? I don't think it really matters. Like, this is what they want.
This was perfect.
They talked about this during training camp. Like, Zeke's got a couple 300 carry seasons on his resume. Let's get him to December and get him totally fresh for the stretch run. And by the way, Tony Pollard's really good. We need to play him more.
Damn, he good.
And that's what they got. So
I think that's a great point. There were points in that game when you're looking at it, and if you look at the stats, and you're going to see, they put up 400 yards. There's only 20 points on the board. This is the lowest scoring win for the Dallas Cowboys since 2017, I think. I think this is as
for a victory.
For a victory.
I don't know that. That's interesting.
I think it's one of the lowest scoring wins in multiple years. I have to go and double check that stat in the break, but it's not going to look like an offensive explosion. But my goodness, it was so efficient. Down the field, play calling, spreading the love. It wasn't even just balance between offense and rushing and passing. It was the fact that you had two rushers over 70 yards. You had 7 different players catch multiple passes.
Yeah.
The spreading of the love was there. And then, Isaiah, I'm curious to hear what you think about what Dak Prescott looked like yesterday as well.
I think Dak did a great job. We said in the post game yesterday, he was a game manager. I don't care how much he gets paid. His job is to put the team in the best position to win games, and that's what he did yesterday. He didn't make bad decisions. Obviously had one interception, got sacked a few times. That wasn't his fault, but I thought he did. He distributed the ball well. The fact that he went to 7 different receivers lets you know he's going through his reads. He don't give a doggone who gets the ball. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you said game manager there. That is a negative term to a lot of people out there, but you're not meaning that in a negative way, right?
No, not at all. Game manager just means that's what you want as a quarterback. So let's go ahead and put that out there. You want somebody who's going to put your team in the best position possible. If that's calling a run, that's calling a run. If that's checking to something that gives us, 5 yards instead of, something that might have gave us 40 yards, so the heck what? That's managing the game. Just being smart about your decisions that you make and not taking those risks. That is a game manager. That's what Russell Wilson was early on in his career, and that's why Russell's loved everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. And Dak is starting to do the same exact thing. He doesn't have to be the 58 passes a game type of guy because he has help. And I think he's realizing that he has help everywhere. You see some quarterbacks get locked into 1 or 2 receivers. They get locked into 1 or 2 guys, and that's all they see. And they really can't come off of that, right? Whether if they have the running ability of Dak, sometimes they'll check 1, sometimes they'll check 2, and then guess what they're doing? They're taking off, right? That's not what Dak's doing. Dak is literally going through his progressions, and if he works his way 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 4 at his running back, that's who gets the ball. Or guess what? Throw the ball away. He does that too. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by game manager. He's putting you in position. Sometimes second down is a great down instead of you sitting on the bench and watching the other team go for first.
Yeah. The negative connotation that you're looking at is bus driver. He didn't say he's a bus driver.
Yeah. The negative connotation is uppercase GM game manager. This is lowercase.
Yeah, lowercase.
Manager. I like that.
But honestly, this is what they wanted. Kellen Moore was ready for that question last week about balance, and he talked about how they checked out. You mentioned it last week. Mm-hmm. They checked out of 12 runs, and they had 31 attempts in this game. They didn't check out of those runs because the looks were favorable. Kellen Moore was a man of his word. He said if it depending on the looks and if it's what we want, we're going to go to it. And this was a very 2016 Dak Prescott stat line. Mm-hmm. 27 attempts, 237 yards,
88% completion rate. I don't know what else people want. I don't care if he threw the ball 13 times in the game.
Yeah.
As long as we were successful on offense, we were 60% conversion on third down. That's a positive. 88% completion on passing the ball. That's amazing. I don't care if you were throwing the ball, 6-7 times a game. That's amazing. That's a great stat. It doesn't matter. Long as you're moving the ball, we manage the freaking clock. We were in control of the clock. We were having 6-7 minute drives. Are you kidding me? We talked about during the week how you had to control this game because offensively for the Chargers, they were going to try to control the game and control the clock, right? They had the West Coast. They were going to dink and dunk, get the 5 yards here, 10 yards there, run the ball with Eckler. They were going to move the ball down the field, so they were going to have sustained drives. In order for us to be in a position to win the game, we needed to be great on third down, and we needed to be able to move these chains, and I think we did that.
Young boy genius was in his box, in his bag again yesterday. I mean, he was getting after it, and he had, like Rob said earlier, it was, in my opinion, I agree with you, is the best play calling we've seen from Kellen Moore. But we also have a young corner on the defensive side who had a great game. Heckma already alluded to it. When we come back, we talk about the defensive side of the football, and is Trayvon Diggs the best corner the Cowboys have had in a decade when we return on Talkin Cowboys.
Like that.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit AT&T.com for details.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Varilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys on a Victory Monday, following a Cowboys 20. Dude, we were in the show.
Okay.
In the show. We can talk about it in a second. Thank you.
I love our commercial breaks.
Yes, they're crazy. I'm trying to find a read from your wife so I can end up
once it hits your lips.
There we go. It's a great people, great pay replay. You've heard Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. If you want to join him to do great work with great people for great pay, apply now at jobs@caliber.com. That is jobs@caliber.com. Go join that Caliber Collision team. We're about to have a collision, I think, in studio between Heckma Harrison and Isaiah Stanback.
Once a day. Once a day.
Feel it coming. It's starting to escalate a little bit. We'll see if it gets there. All right, defensive side of the football. Couple turnovers forced, 9 straight games now for the Cowboys with a turnover. That's the second longest active streak in the NFL, only behind the Miami Dolphins. So they continue to take the football away, but they did give up some pretty big numbers in the passing game throughout the course of this one. Rob, I'll let you start this off. What did you think about the defense, and was it a positive outing for them?
How do we start this without talking about Micah? Is that possible? Can I just go straight to that?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when I was looking at the stats again this morning. I didn't realize he only played 39 of 71 snaps. I felt like his impact on the game, I thought he was out there every single snap. And I know he wasn't, because there was times where they just kept him off the field. And Isaiah said this in the break. Man, when he wasn't rushing off that left edge and just giving Storm Norton everything he could handle, Justin Herbert had time, and when Justin Herbert had time, he was delivering. Like that was a dangerous game, because he is the truth. That is one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, no question. Maybe one of the best quarterbacks, period, right now in the league. But Micah was, what do you say? I mean, I sat there last week and talked about not having DeMarcus Lawrence, what kind of impact that was going to have on this defense. And I think they missed him some in the run game, defending, setting the edge, and Gregory, too, not being there. But his pass rush was incredible. I mean, to ask a rookie to come in and basically change positions from what he did in week 1, and do what he probably did best at Penn State, though, really, really, really impressive.
If Micah Parsons doesn't play defensive end for us this game, we lose. Straight,
plain and simple.
Plain and simple. The reason being, to your point, Rob, Justin Herbert was delivering the rock. We had all kinds of gaps in our zone coverage, and they were finding every nook and cranny possible. They were just running 5-6 yards, sitting, finding a little gap in between linebackers, get the easy pass, first down. Right? They were just over and over again. Eckler, boom, first down. And then there's a dude named number 11 who just happens to go out there and provide a rush off the right end. Right now it was to Herbert's open side, luckily for him, because he was able to see a lot of it. But Parsons was getting upfield, and then he got caught inside a couple times on a spin back inside rush. Sometimes it worked out in our favor, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes they were able to escape the pocket and get the ball off. That's on coverage. We got to figure that out. But if he did not make Herbert uncomfortable back there, they would have picked us apart and they would have won that ball game. He is one of the major reasons why our defense was able to hold their ground against the Chargers.
No question.
Yeah, you're just happy that you have a guy like that. And it's just a dog. He's coming after the quarterback. He's got 4 quarterback hits and a sack that was questionable, but hey, we'll take it.
Let's talk about that.
We will take that sack. But, what happened was basically instead of calling a grounding call, which would have they were in the red zone, which took them far out of position to score. But they awarded Micah with the sack, which I think everybody in Cowboys Nation was happy about it, but Chargers were not happy about it. But, I think the linebackers played well. And Jalen, swipe if you want to. Come on, swipe if you. He's holding that swipe back with everything he's got. But defensive line wise, man, we've got to get some pressure internally. We just hadn't got there. Those stunts, guys are still getting bottled up front. But Osa Odigizua, number 97, man, he had a really good game as well for the D-line group.
He's starting to find his own.
Yes, he is.
He's starting to get in there and get his feet underneath him. But talking about the sack. Was it a sack? Because that was probably outside of maybe the pass interference call that was on Jayron Kearse in the first half. That was an interception that very well should have been an interception. That was probably the most controversial call. Each team had one that benefited them. Mm-hmm. But did you think that was a sack on Justin Herbert in the fourth?
I did not.
I didn't either.
But as Chris pointed out to us in the break, it would have been intentional grounding.
Either way.
So
would have took him back to the 25.
Okay, yeah. That being said, Cowboy fans that want to say it's rigged against them every single week, it's not. It's not. That was a very beneficial call for them. But you know what? As well as Micah played, I'm glad he got the sack because he, like Isaiah, you guys said, he was the difference in this game, and that's coaching. That's coaching for Dan Quinn to say we have to do something. Our first round draft pick is really good at this. Let's just change it up, and because he only rushed like 12 times in the opener. That's coaching, and that's a great job by the young player.
But it's a testament to what Dan Quinn said he was going to do, and he's actually carrying it out. We talk about these matchups. It's matchups. Our defense is very versatile, very versatile. We have all kinds. We got safety depth, right? We got range. We have a range in corners. We didn't use it seemingly.
Wait. Did you say we have safety depth?
Which is crazy.
Is that?
Honestly, no disrespect to Donovan Wilson. Did we miss him this game?
No.
No disrespect.
Can you say it again?
We didn't miss his presence. And so we have safety depth.
Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
So that's the thing. Whenever you have depth at a position, when you have one of your main guys go out, we had a starting safety out. We had two of our two defensive ends, our book ends out. I don't feel like we missed them. I don't feel like we missed them in the game. Now, would we have liked to have had them?
Sure.
Absolutely. But missing them and liking to have had them is two different things, right? We had a rush. We would have expected to have a rush with those guys. We had physical play, and we had playmakers at the safety position. We would have liked to have Donovan Wilson, but guess what? Our other guys that stepped up made plays. That's what it means to have depth. You like to have your guys there, but if they're not there, the guys behind them step up and make the same type of plays. So that's what I'm talking about. And Dan Quinn said from week to week, this is what you're going to get. Whatever you have, I said this before, that's how we're going to line up, and we do the same thing on offense. We do the same thing on offense. You're seeing it in Kellen Moore's play calls. You're seeing it in Dan Quinn's ability to put Micah Parsons wherever the heck he might be. Guess what? Micah Parsons might be at doggone safety. He might be at corner, right? David Boston comes back and lines up out there. We might have to put Parsons at corner because he was 260 at receiver.
He was lining up to the sideline against Fournette in week 1, so he kind of was a corner.
That's what I love about this defense. And I knew this about Dan Quinn because I know I have some history with him, but we have the personnel now to go do that from week to week.
Yeah. That hybrid versatility that we have in multiple positions is paying off, and being able to scheme it up is what Dan Quinn his strength that he has. But man, you talk about safety, you talk about Kearse. Man, I just think he had one hell of a game, and I heard him say that about Dono. I wouldn't have said that about Wilson. I know that's your Texas A&M brother, and I saw you.
We wouldn't do that to you, Rob.
Yeah. I would.
Thank you. I missed it. I missed it yesterday.
I love Dono like that, man.
Going along with Kearse, I mean, you needed guys to step up. You mentioned it, missing your two defensive ends, you're missing your safety, and then of course we talked about the offense already, but you're missing guys on offense. This is the first time in 2, maybe 3 years that injuries haven't derailed a team. And you didn't feel like, oh my gosh, there's a gaping hole in this game plan because we're missing this guy here or that guy there. This is the first time I felt like there was still some cohesiveness and complementary football played in all 3 phases whenever there were guys missing on multiple levels.
The expectation is different. The expectation of this team is different, not only in just the 3 phases of the game, but cohesively as a unit, as a team. They expect. We already have our expectations.
Sure.
They expect to win. Last year, they hoped. They hoped to win last year. Now they expect to win. The reason being, it started with the competitiveness in practice, right? It started with no one guy being greater than the other guy. That starts, and that's the culture that we talked about. That's why I said
accepting your role.
That's accepting your role, right? Guess what? You play a key role on this team, but guess what? When I put you in position to make plays, this is what you do. I'm not going to ask you to do anything outside of yourself, right? Rob P,
love that.
You rush the passer. Guess what? Freaking rush the passer.
Right,
Micah? Guess what? You normally play linebacker. I need you to be a dog and make this dude uncomfortable. Get to him every single play. Even if you don't get to him, make him get out the pocket. I don't care. Just make him not set his feet. Okay, coach, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Curse. Guess what? Donovan's gone. I need you to step up and make some doggone big plays. Diggs shut down Allen. Didn't shut him down, but guess what? We made some plays.
Yeah.
Right.
And the same for like guys like Leighton Vander Esch, who we talked about last game that didn't have a whole bunch of reps. He comes back this game and has one hell of a game. A sack.
Big sack.
Big sack. You know, I mean, it shows up. And I love that's a great point that you just made, Isaiah, because you see this team competing. Mm-hmm. It not only if there's a guy missing, like you said, Micah comes in, but there was a point in the game where I was just like, boy, Tank would have killed this guy. Tank would have been all over this dude. You know, those were the production numbers that Tank would have definitely exercised the demons on this.
And it was almost like they had Micah rushing off the other side against Rashawn Slater.
Nah, they changed that immediately.
So you know what? Let's exploit the matchup on the other side. And that was a good adjustment.
Talk about E-Honda.
Slater just held him up like a little kid.
That's a good adjustment. But yeah, I mean, defensively, Kyle, you referenced it. Like they gave up chunks of yardage. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert had a good day. I think you have to look at the fact that they faced two top 10 quarterbacks, top 5, top whatever in the first 2 games. I think that, the competition was really tough. But look, they affected him, and LA was 5 of 12 on third down. That's good. And some of their conversions were like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, whatever. So they made it hard on him. I mean, I was for what they were missing, I thought that was a good performance, even though they dodged a couple. They're late for sure.
They definitely dodged it. And Herbert got his fill, 313 through the air. I mean, only 95 on the ground, which is phenomenal compared to the run defense that you saw a year ago with this Cowboys defense. But Trayvon Diggs, another interception. He's now had 5 interceptions in his first 13 career games or 14 career games. I can't remember which that second number was. But he's the first player to have an interception in the first 2 weeks of the season since 1975 when Leroy Jordan did it.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time.
I think they amended that in the post-game notes.
Oh, did they?
I think they went back and saw Roy Williams did it in 06.
Oh, okay.
But still
a long time.
15 years, and you were asking, is he the best corner they've had?
No, you got to do it like he would have done it to you or me if I had said that.
I don't think I would have done anything outside of what Rob just did.
He'd be giving you the frat boy vibe?
They got frat boy vibes on that.
That was, if anything, that's not my fault that the stat was wrong.
I'm just, come on, go with it.
But anyways, what were you saying about?
Well, I was going back to your tease. Is it the best corner they've had in 10 years?
Is he? I don't think.
I mean, this is the best start I've seen from a corner in 2 games. I mean, even though Keenan Allen got his, but 2 picks. I mean, to have the confidence for a second-year guy to just say, "Hey, we're going to stick you on the best receiver, and we're going to travel you no matter what." I mean, they haven't done that in 10 years.
No, 4 catches, 108 yards, and that one ball that Herbert threw to him in between the safety and corner. I just think that's what put him over 100 yards. It's an excellent throw by Herbert. And I think we all came away from the game saying, yeah, Herbert is a dude.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He's a baller. What do you think, Isaiah?
He's a boss, and I think not only is he a good player, but his offensive coordinator, Lombardi, does a great job putting him in position to be successful. I mean, you expect that from every offensive coordinator, but every offensive coordinator doesn't do that. Their system allows for them to be very efficient, and he doesn't have to make these crazy throws. Now, he's going to make 1 or 2 a game, but he's not forced to do that, 10-plus times a game, just chucking this thing down the field. His throws are high precision.
What do you think about Trayvon Diggs and his day overall?
I think Diggs had a good day. I think he had a good day. I think every game I feel like he's like kind of like a video game, like a video game character that just keeps learning all the different moves. You know what I mean? Like every time the more he plays, he's just upgrading.
PC,
exactly.
Getting the
he's processing it exactly.
Yeah.
He just keeps learning new techniques. I saw that last week, but no, I think he's doing a great job, man. I think he'll continue to get better. Obviously, I mean, is he the best corner in the last 10 years? I don't know, man.
He's off to a good start.
He's off to a great start, though, and I think the confidence that you're going to gain, the confidence that the coaches instill in him. He has an amazing coach in Harris, and then he also has Dan Quinn calling the plays and trusting him, telling him, hey, no matter who we play, you're sticking there number one.
Yeah.
Right? So going into this next week, I think he's really confident, going into this next week, having just faced freaking Evans and faced Allen. I think he's going to be pretty confident going against Smith, coming up this week.
Jalen Reagor, Devontae Smith, whoever ends up being the quote-unquote number one receiver.
I think you're pretty confident going into that.
I think you feel pretty good after having to face Allen and Evans in weeks 1 and 2. It's the lowest scoring W for the Dallas Cowboys since November 29th of 2018 against the New Orleans Saints. That game was 13-10. This was the lowest scoring win since that point.
Wow.
So it's been a while since the Cowboys have won a game like that, and got to give a lot of credit to the defense. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on this edition of Talkin Cowboys and look ahead a little bit to the week that is when we come back with more from the Star.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the Star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10. Free shipping!
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Oh, this is going to be extra sweet on a Victory Monday. Let's get this ready to go. It is whether you're watching from home and seeing the Cowboys win in the stands. With Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
That's a microphone twirl. That's a new one. That's a new touch. Yeah.
I've been doing that one.
Oh, okay.
Swings the microphone away.
Yeah.
My bulging shoulders might block you from being able to see it.
I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah,
I hadn't noticed that.
Bomb.
It's just a little. It's just a little tap.
Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, he's got.
James Brown, get out. I like that.
Got to remember to get it back. He's Isaiah Stanback. He's Rob Phillips. Heckma Harrison. I'm Kyle Yeomans here for Talkin Cowboys. Glad you're with us here on a Victory Monday. Hope everybody had fun. I mean, that was a fun game to watch. It was nerve-wracking.
Did you eat a dub like Jameson Winston last year?
I should have.
Did you eat
I'm not as good at throwing
that.
that out there. He did not eat a dub yesterday.
He did not eat a dub.
They lost 26-7 to the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys, by the way, tied atop the NFC East right now. How about that?
Shaking
showdown coming up.
Semi-first place Dallas Cowboys. Co-first place Dallas Cowboys.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. They've got a huge matchup coming up with the Philadelphia Eagles coming up this weekend. Home matchup back at AT&T
Got to be
Stadium.
loud.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
All your fans out there, turn up.
3 straight home games. How about that?
Yeah, because then the Panthers come to town, and then is it the Giants after that? Week 5, yeah, because it's the same week that Dak got.
You know what I want to see, Kyle? I want to see AT&T Stadium rocking like the old Texas Stadium. I want to see it rocking like that. That was a vibe. I think we've gotten a little bit, feng shui, a little budget, what I'm saying, ever since we got the new stadium. I want to see, even if you're bougie out there, even if you got some bread in the back, that's okay. Come and act a fool this Sunday Monday. All right, Monday night, even more reason. Okay, you got work the next day. So what? Yeah. Listen up. Come turn up. The players need to feel you. They don't need to just hear you. They need to feel you. There's a difference.
I love that.
Stock system and a custom system in your car are 2 different things. We need the custom system.
Custom. Let's get it done.
No pinkies in the air.
Yeah, none of that. Turn up.
Let's do something we haven't done on this show in quite some time.
Yes.
Let's give out some smelly stickers. How about that? Bring it back a tradition from early 2020. We kind of went away from it for a little bit, but I'm going to have the smelly stickers
There's
back.
a reason.
Yeah, we that's true. We weren't able to give out smelly stickers. This is basically a segment. It's kind of like helmet stickers, but instead we go smelly stickers, and we scratch and sniff, and we place it on those who deserve it. So, Rob, I'll let you start us off. Who deserves your smelly sticker for the win yesterday over the Chargers?
Micah Parsons.
You said that so
Micah
so
Parsons.
confident.
I'm surprised. I was surprised he played so less, but like people on Twitter tell me, like on the sideline, he looked gassed. That's how much effort he was giving in trying to provide that pass rush off the edge.
It's different between sitting in the box at the second level and giving 100% effort out the blocks every single time for 39 plays. That is draining.
Yeah.
And he got better as the game went along, too.
That is draining.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're pushing
great
against a 300-pounder.
Yeah. Just the motor, the production, the midweek switch, and being willing to do that in his second NFL game. Smelly sticker.
Root beer. Is it the root beer smell?
Stings the nostrils.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that.
Is it a good one?
Stings the nostrils.
All right, Heckma.
I'm gonna give my smelly sticker to number 70, Zach Martin.
What?
Yeah, I'm giving it to Zach, man. Zach just Zach Martin makes everything better. That's just what it is, and he has to get my smelly sticker. Zach.
What flavor? That whole offense just
banana,
goes, man.
All right.
Okay, banana.
Okay. This is orange.
This is orange.
I am going with Taran Steele. Taran Steele, he brought his big white draws, the old school draws, the work draws. He brought those. He didn't bring the boxer briefs. Okay, he didn't bring the nice ones with the little sheen. He brought the old cottons, the old cotton ones that you said. I'm putting these on because I'm about to go do the yard. He put them draws on and he came to work. Smelly sticker.
Aaron, cow bite. There's this week's cow bite.
Aaron's in the back. Make sure you're listening. I'm going to give mine to Tony Pollard since we haven't we haven't had a chance to talk about it a whole lot. But Tony Pollard, 13 carries, 109 yards. And yes, the offensive line paved the way, but it was kind of like what Zeke was saying. Whoever is rolling, whoever has that hot hand, they're going to get the football. And Tony Pollard had the hot hand, and he was able to convert on multiple occasions, and not only in the run game, but in the passing game as well. And he capped off with a big touchdown, too. So my smelly sticker goes to Tony Pollard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What does it smell like?
Ooh, I don't know. You guys took like the only 3 flavors I know.
Those are the flavors you would pick.
Watermelon.
Yeah. Strawberry.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
I'll give him a watermelon one.
You'd have picked the work draws as a flavor?
I hope that's not a smelly sticker flavor.
I never want that sticker, man.
Oh, my
It's the only 3 that I
want. That's going to do it for us on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Tostitos. Tomorrow, we're going to hear from you, the fans out there. Call in. I want to hear about your thoughts on the Cowboys' 20-17 win. For Chris Beam in the back, Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, and Heckma Harrison, I'm Kyle Yeomans. See you tomorrow on Talkin Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!